Now we want to bring you today's original with in-depth reporting on a topic we've been keeping an eye on. Today, we're talking college. More and more Americans are asking themselves, is a college degree still worth it? With inflation hitting American pockets hard and tuition costs rising, folks are rethinking higher education. In fact, some 2/3 of Americans, according to a new survey, believe that well-paying, stable jobs can be obtained with only a high school diploma or GED. And it isn't just hype or big talk. Many are actually putting college off, dropping out, or not going at all. Steven Romo has more.
Getting a college education can be one of the most important financial decisions you'll make in your lifetime.
The cost of college is absolutely insane. He'll be a senior next year, and then we'll have to be dealing with that. And we've been looking at colleges.
We definitely know the struggle and feel that, but she's the one that pays for it.
But now, in the middle of an ongoing pandemic and an economic downturn, more Americans are rethinking higher education's value.
2/3 of Americans believe that you can find a well-paying job, a stable job, with only a high school degree or equivalent and no college education.
That study by think tank New America adds to the growing trend of research showing that some Americans are either not going or not finishing college, in large part due to the increasing cost of getting a diploma.
People are really trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Do I take time out of the workforce, or can I work immediately with a good wage?
Some colleges now raising tuition as much as 5%, citing inflation after tuition costs remain stable for a majority of the pandemic.
If you are thinking about enrolling in college or what the value proposition of college is, and you're measuring the cost, you're measuring in terms of how many gallons of gas is it, or how many eggs can I buy with what I would pay for this.
A survey released this month by bestcolleges.com finds 44% of currently enrolled undergraduate students with federal or private loans have considered dropping out of school due to the financial burden.
It's only worth it if you have an extremely high-paying job as a result of that, like maybe law school, going into law after that. But a lot of other fields, it's not really worth it, in my opinion.
I see my mom; she's still 30 years later, still paying off college debt. So, I mean, I don't want to be in that position 30 years from now.
The answer to is college worth it is unsurprisingly complex. Some research shows getting a diploma is worth it in the long run, especially for low-income students.
That's sort of the sad paradox. College is most worth it for the people who can least afford it.
A report from Georgetown University shows bachelor's degree holders generally earn a whopping 84% more over their lifetime than those with just a high school diploma. But nowadays, the top 10 best-paying majors are related to engineering or computer science, which represent just a fraction of the American population.
Right now, the labor market's really tight. So if the labor market remains this tight going into next year's survey, I think we'll continue to see numbers that show Americans questioning the value of higher education.
Steven, such interesting reporting. So many jobs say today, you need to have a master's degree or higher education, college degree. So in your reporting, I wonder, did you find that in today's economy, forgoing higher education can actually result in stable, high-paying jobs? We heard a lot from people saying they don't want to go, but what are the results?
Yeah, that's sort of the caveat to all of this. It can result in these high-paying jobs, but you're at a much bigger risk in the economy right now if you don't have a college degree. That is still true. Some studies show that you can make up to $1 million more over a lifetime with the college degree. Those things haven't changed, but people becoming more aware of student debt and realizing that if they don't complete their degree, they're still going to be burdened with that debt is making them make these choices. Sinclair.
And Steven, I mean, it's impossible to talk about college without loans in the U.S. I don't know about you. I won't put you on the spot. I know that I have, a handful. And there's been lots of talk about student loan forgiveness being rolled out by the Biden administration. How might mass debt cancellation impact this trend that you reported on?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to even step foot into a college without student loans and student aids. And Clay, it is an interesting question right now. Of course, it's still early on, and student debt forgiveness hasn't actually taken place at a level that people are still asking the Biden administration for. So there's not a lot of information. There's not a lot of surveys being done right now to see how that will affect enrollment or how that will affect people actually taking out student loans. But from the people I've talked to for this story, it seems like it's not really changing things much just yet either way. I mean, you can just imagine talking to high school seniors. It's really hard for many of them to conceptualize that far in the future. They are not really they're thinking that is their real life later on. They're making plans for today, many of them wanting that college experience and many others wanting to make that money right now. So that's one of the things yet to be seen, Sinclair.
And Stephen, I wonder, I mean, you were outside talking to people on the ground. Did anything surprise you in terms of what they said about college and affordability?
Yeah, one interesting thing that kept happening is I would interview people who happen to be from another country, people from France. I interviewed two families from France with children who are college age, and they were saying that I was sort of explaining the system here a little bit to them, and they're saying in Europe what a different system it is. If you go to school in the same area, the cost is either free or very low. So it seems to be a sort of a uniquely American situation we're in right now with student loans. That was pretty surprising, Sinclair.
A uniquely American cost. Stephen Romo, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.